Okay, before I get started here, this is the seats before I put the spacers in to lean it back about 2 inches. And I will say this is like a 90-degree angle, so you're basically sitting like this in this chair. And I'm a big dude, so if I was sitting back here, I would definitely need the seats pushed up. So, because I'm 6'3", 300 pounds, I'm a really big guy. But what's going to happen is, this, instead of the seat being like that and up, the back, it's actually going to come like that. This lift I'm going to put in from the tilt to the back, it's going to go back about 2 more inches. So let's just do that, and we'll go ahead and get it started, and we'll speed it up for you, because I don't think you want to see all the bolts that I'm going to have to do and the time that it takes us. So I'll do fast speed on those, but let's get to that and show you where all those are. Okay, here are the tools that you're going to need. You're going to need an 18mm socket to take them off, and a 3/4 inch to put them on. And I actually purchased this through Ohio Diesel Parts, and what these is the blocks right here. They're about 1 inch high, so it's going to give me about a 2-inch lean back on the back seat of the Jeep. So let's go ahead and get these in and show you how to do this. Okay, I've already loosened these bolts up. You ain't got to take them out because there's 3 of them. There's one right there, one right here, and the one right here. And all you want to do with those is loosen them up. You don't need to take them off, because if you don't loosen those up, you won't be able to lift the back of your seat up for the gap that you need to do. So just do them about halfway and they should be fine. So that's already done, so let me go show you the front. Alright, as you can see, I've already unbolted everything. And the reason I did this was it took me about an hour just to unbolt these things, maybe even longer than that. Hour and a half max, but these bolts were in there tight for these chairs, for this back seat. So I'll show you where the bolts are up front. You get one here, and where these 2 legs are, okay? And then you're gonna have one right back here, right here, and actually underneath that corner. When I lift that seat up here in a minute, I'll be able to show you. But pretty much they were a real pain. If you have an impact wrench, you'll love it. It would be easy. I don't have that, so I did it the old way. So let me show you a little secret here. Okay, one of the things that you need to do when you get all these 7 bolts unbolted and taken out up front here is hold this up. It's gonna, because it will just fall down. So the best way to do it is just bring it up like this. Take your seat belt that's here, wrap it underneath it, and go around the seat, and they'll both stay up. It's just temporary. It's not going to hurt your seat belt at all. So here's these other 2. There's one here and there's one here. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, guys, the bolts that come originally in the back right here, you reuse these. You'll thank me later. Just reuse these ones for the rear. For the front ones, use the ones that came in the package. So these are the 18mm, and you're going to have 3/4 up front, but the same thread pattern. So it's real simple. You just take this and you put it right here. You line it up and you just get it started. Just make sure they're square when you do it. And we don't want to get them all tightened down now, because we really want to get all 3 in the back. So that's what we're going to do next. Now here's the other thing. Like I stated earlier, before we even started doing this, you want to make sure you have those 3 bolts in the back undone. If you don't, you ain't going to be able to move this at all. Got that one started. let me get the wrench and we can get those installed. Sorry for the noise. Just get these in. And these are going to be tight. And make sure your block is square. And we don't want to put them too tight because we still got to do these floor panel ones. But the big thing back here is make sure the block is square when you're tying it up. So I'll tell you what, I'll get all these in and tightened up, and then we'll get back to this other part. Okay. The next thing you're going to want to do is when you put these legs down, go with the width, just like that. And then you're going to have to use the longer bolts, of course. Now what we want to do is get them started. Remember, if you have an impact wrench, it will be much better. Getting them lined up is going to be a little pain, but it can be done. It's just a little pain to do. And make sure you put your washer with all these pieces. And then I need a 3/4 inch to actually bring them down. I'll tell you what, if you live in Arizona or Texas, Georgia, at this time of the year, this stuff sucks because you sweat like a dog when it's like this. So, we want to make sure we got to go in the right direction. And then we just tighten them up. And you got to make sure this block stays square so the pressure sits directly over the square, not the squat, the square. What we'll do is, so it doesn't take forever, we'll just cut here and we'll come back when I get the other side started. All right, see you then. Now we're going to do the same thing over here on this side. Remember, do it just like this. And we got to get lined up, and then we just got to get them started. Remember, you want them lined up so you don't cross thread them. And then, once you get them started, you can start tightening them up. And the ones going back in are 3/4. Whew. This has probably been the hardest project that I've ever done. So let's go do the back ones now. All right, now here's the thing. I'm in the back seat after it's been done and accomplished. I do have a better lean, and I've already been in and out of the Jeep one time, and for my size, getting out of the Jeep was a lot easier, even getting in, because the bottom part where you sit on is actually back about that much, okay, with the lift. And then when you see in the photo at the end, you're going to see a before and an after. Look at the glass, the back window glass, and see the difference gap that I have now of the seat leaning back. And it actually feels a lot better, more comfortable than it was sitting straight up all the time. So you're actually leaning back more, about 2 and 3 inches. Look at the headrest, like I said, when you see the before and after. Anyways, this job in Texas is freaking hot. And it is around 8 o'clock in the morning, and I'm drenched from doing this. Now, I just didn't do it all day. I took it apart last night, which took me about an hour, hour and a half. And this morning, it took me about that long to put it back in. The bolts that were holding the seats in probably had Loctite or something on them. But if you don't have an impact wrench, expect 2 to 3 hours to do this whole job from start to finish. If you have an impact wrench, boy, you can probably get it done in an hour. So sometimes it's worth just going buy an impact wrench, just so you can speed things up a little bit. But anyways, it's done. It's better than what it was. I definitely feel it. I have more room in the back because this seat's all the way back, and I have 2 inches of gap before I was touching it. Now I got some space, so I got some leg room for a big person like me. So it's better. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe if you liked it. Share it if you want to share it with somebody. That'd be really cool. Anyways, check out this photo. Until next time.